So now we're live. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hello, happy Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody. Woo. Lauren, you
Oh,
need
the
to sound spooky.
monsters.
Isn't it
Great
sounding?
job.
Oh, it's just sound.
You I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So,
I
how's
really
everyone's Halloween's going so far?
um I mean, it's been the same as non-Halloween. I haven't really gone out and did anything yet. I'm not sure if I am today because I what typically happens on Halloween is I say, "Hey, let me go do something for Halloween," and then I get strange looks thrown at me, and then it's like, "Well,
Mm.
let me not do something for Halloween," and then that's the end of it, the story. So, what about y'all?
I am going to have a friend come over and watch Over the Garden Wall together.
Oh, over the garden wall.
Yeah,
That's I really I think I don't think I finished that show, but I definitely watched like maybe 8 or 9 episodes of it or something like that. It was pretty
I've
good.
actually never watched it.
Really? Hmm.
Nope.
Yeah,
I've always
it's
heard
pretty
it,
good.
and like I know it's on my list. I've been meaning to, but I just never got around to it.
Okay, okay. What about you, Brandon?
Oh, nothing. Just telling my big bro happy birthday. Happy 29th birthday, big bro.
Oh yeah. It is Brandon, his brother. It's his birthday today,
And,
which I
and
mean that just he blew my mind. He dropped it so casually yesterday. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's his birthday." It's like, what? On Halloween?
sadly,
Spooky.
we're over here enjoying some fun, and he's probably enjoying some beer and watching some football.
Oh yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Whoa. Welcome to the Easy Beezy Podcast. Halloween edition. As always, I'm joined by the spooky, scary, frightening Lauren and
More like
Brandon.
frightened.
We're like, Brandon, chill. we had him. That was Brandon's voice in the intro, by the way. We had him do maniacal laughter. And you know what? I feel like it was. I regret my request already because he has been maniacally laughing ever since, and it is terrifying. He's just been. But
you
you
know
know
what's
what?
you know what's funny too? Like we were actually like cleaning up some of our files, and you were actually like, "What is this?" He clicked on it, like, "Oh, I'm not listening to this anymore."
Oh yeah. Like a few weeks ago, we were like going through all our files and like cleaning them up, and we were like going through tracks because we have a lot of tracks for the show and stuff. And I was like, "What is this? I don't remember what this like." And I clicked on it, and it was just instantly Brandon just started laughing maniacally, and I was like, "Oh well, that's all right. I'm closing that." But it would be pretty good for Halloween. So happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes,
Um,
happy Halloween, everybody.
Indeed.
I hope everyone out there is having a great Halloween, going trick or treating. Make sure whenever an adult invites you into their house, you always go straight inside. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Please don't,
Especially if
for
they're
older
offering you cotton
siblings'
candy.
sakes.
All right.
Ugh.
Then you just run inside and you just, take whatever they're giving you.
You pain me. And you pain so many older siblings around the world, man. How dare you?
I've never had to deal with
This would
that.
come from a younger sibling, of course.
But I've never had to deal with that. You know,
because
for
you're
those,
the youngest, of course not.
no, I'm not even. I'm saying like the other way around. Like I just never, because confession time, everybody. I've like literally never gone trick or treating. Like not a single time. In fact, I have never celebrated Halloween ever.
Ooh.
So I know everyone just I don't have the boo sound effect up, but I would boo myself right now.
I would do a
what is that called?
Oh, the womp womps. That's
The womp womp. The womp womp sound.
If you look it on YouTube, I promise it will pop up.
Yeah, make sure you look up womp womp instead of whap whap. You're gonna get some different results. Okay.
I prefer whap. You know, whap whap is kind of.
Huh. All right. Well. All right, kids. You heard that? You heard that? Go look whap whap and see what happens. No,
You're not
yes.
liable for the reactions or anything that happens after you search.
In all honesty, are children really supposed to be watching us? I don't think so, right?
You know what?
I don't know.
That's why YouTube gave what their parents to say. Is this video made for kids?
Is this video made for kids? I'm like, I don't think we're making this for kids. No,
it
feels even weird to ask. Like, no, I'm not making this for a 5-year-old.
It started all of a sudden when those child people predators basically started going on YouTube.
Yeah, and then YouTube decided instead of handling it properly, they're just like, well, let's nuke the comment section on any video that has kids stuff on it, and it kind of sucks.
So bad.
Yeah, because I used to go into a lot of old videos of kid shows from my childhood and read the comments, and like we used to talk about how nostalgic everything was.
That, but as a child, that used to be like, why use YouTube to discuss things? Like, wasn't that the point?
Yeah, but I mean, just people just have to ruin everything. So
yeah.
I'm glad though that the spirit and tradition of Halloween has not been ruined, at least so far. So
I don't know where that came from.
Things are gonna get a little spooky today, guys. In all honesty, just no, being very candid, that was terrifying. That was not supposed to happen. That just came out of nowhere.
Wait, neither of you clicked it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Man. See, you're not supposed to give Brandon power like this, because now we're gonna be haunted. Look what you did.
You guys ready to get spooky? Are y'all ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
I think that was the signal. The spook signal. Probably
who you gonna call Ghostbusters?
I've never watched that.
I've seen Ghostbusters when I was like 4, and I don't remember anything that happened in it. It's like, I just remember the Michelin tire guy. He was like really big, and then he just showed up, and he just showed up and just started stepping on building. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, the only Halloween movies I've watched was like obviously like some of the classics. I won't say most. Some of the classics, and then like things like Monster House, which I have to say is iconic.
Monster House.
The kid movie, right?
Yes, the kids movie.
Okay, yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, guys, the kids movie. I knew that one.
The one where the house,
the one where the kids do the kids stuff.
Eat the children, and it turned out to be like the guy's
it's an old man's wife. So basically, remember that movie with the kids who says, "Hey, let's go to the house," it's like just get off of my lawn, and then the house would like come alive and take the toys.
I don't remember.
Because it was eating it.
Oh,
And the
remember
people.
This sounds like I think the premise sounds familiar, but yeah, I just looked it up. I don't even remember seeing this.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That
no
and, like,
way.
That and like the cool Red Riding Hood was like they were, I think they were made by the same people or around the same time.
You
They
know,
were just as cool as each other.
you know what though? I remember when Coraline was coming out, and I was like, man, I really wanted to see it at the time, even though I wasn't into scary stuff really when I was
Really?
younger.
I
I
don't
really
know, it's
wanted
not
to see it
scary
at the
to me.
time. You said what?
It's not scary to me though.
When did you see it?
Probably like a year after it came out.
Okay, well,
Not too long.
yeah, I saw it like last year because I was like, oh, it was one of those things I always wanted to see when I was a kid, and I just never ended up seeing it.
Right.
It wasn't scary. It was just like towards the end, it got a little creepy. I'm like, if I'd seen this when I was a kid, I would be a little creeped out. I will admit,
It was more shocking to me. Like, it was just a shocking
Shocking.
turn of events.
I was
It wasn't
definitely
terrifying or scary, like mildly creepy, not by too much.
I'm
Which
sorry,
is
I don't care
something-
what I do not care what anyone says. The other mother is creepy. I'm sorry. I don't shit that lady when she I mean, I don't want to spoil it, for anyone who hasn't seen this
It's
12-year-old
been
movie.
years.
This 12-year-old movie. When she, goes into that other form, it's just like, oh.
I'm sorry. Anyone who
that's
trusted
weird.
someone with button eyes, that's on them if they thought she was a good mom.
First
Okay?
off, going into like a strange portal into a hole. I wish my children,
Yes.
one of my children, would be dumb enough to go through a strange portal you find in the middle of the house. Yeah, okay.
Confession time.
You would do that though. I know you would.
Au contraire.
You
sir.
would.
Actually, let me tell you a story, buddy. My family used to live in this house that was next door to a cemetery. So already bad enough luck. A house, nothing with like a bunch of big glass windows. And on the second story floor, in the only room that was upstairs, there was this weird small door, much like Coraline, literally the size of the how big her hole in the wall was about as big as the hole in the wall was for us. And it was just a little door, like a mini door. And I was too terrified to go in, but my entire family decided to go see what was on the other side of that mini door into a pitch black dark room with no lights. And I was the only one sitting on the other side. So my family could be possessed right now, and I can't help them at all because I didn't cross the portal. I was too terrified as a child. Now, keep in mind, this was 3 grown adults and 4 small children going through this other hole while I stood alone. So
they came out the other side. So they came out the well. First off, you were a kid, so I'm saying now you would totally go through that, would you not?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Don't try me, Lauren. Come on.
I don't know. I'm not good under pressure when I'm scared. When something's scary, I back out. If something looks cool, that's different.
But you think scary stuff is cool, so I don't even think that even works.
Context though, because if it's dark on the other side, I'm not going.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all this. I'm gonna pretend to be tough guy. I'm not. If genuinely, like, if I'm not feeling it and it looks creepy, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm not going out like this. I'm not being the black person in the horror movie who dies first.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's mixed vibes because on one hand, like certain situations, if it doesn't involve darkness or the woods, if it doesn't involve those 2 things, or water because I can't swim, if it doesn't involve those 3 things, I will be probably like halfway frightened but halfway enticed. But if it involved the 3 things aforementioned, I'm not going to do it at all. That's how that goes.
Brandon,
What?
do you have anything scary you'd like to share?
Sure. So I'm not gonna say the name of the place just in case, but I'll just say this. During my treatment, I was in pain already, and I was already going blind. So I really couldn't see anything. One day I wake up from a nap, in pain, trying to see what's around me. All of a sudden, I see a little small figure at the end of my hospital bed. Every time I try to look around, it just keeps looking at me. Now remember, I am blind, so I'm not hallucinating or anything. I just kept looking at it. It's like a little girl in a white cloak with black long hair, just staring at me. I trying to see my mom was around me. I didn't hear her. And then I remember this one time I was in the same situation at the hospital. All I could see is like people with cameras around me just doing stuff to me, like confused and everything. I didn't know what was going on, guys. I'm like, I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't. Like all the presence around me, I didn't know what it was. But I did soon knock out, and I woke up. Nothing was there anymore. No cameras, no little girl, not anyone around me except for my mom when she came to, feed me when I was in pain. And it was creepy for me. I'm like, is this where I'm heading toward? Because like, am I seeing the end of the tunnel already? Because I was frightened. Like, I was like just sitting in my bed crying. Like, what's going on? I was very terrified at that time. So just a little story for me.
That's actually really scary.
So you didn't. So did you like tell other people at the time like exactly what happened?
No.
No.
Why not?
One, I was in severe pain and I couldn't really talk. Like every time I tried to move, it hurt. Like I already had stomach problems, and then like plus 20 machines hooked into me already. So I was in pain. I really couldn't move.
Fair.
Yo,
That
like
makes sense.
I feel like there was definitely like a month-long period, like a few months ago, where I would just be hallucinating. Like I remember one time it was I want to reference something because I've seen something like this before, like on TV, or like, okay, you know how when you rewind something, if I don't know if you guys have had a VCR or like a videotape recorder or anything
I
like
mean,
that,
I'm not that young.
old school stuff. You're not that young.
As
So
in, I'm old enough to have experienced VCR tapes.
okay, I didn't know if y'all were
Yeah.
one of those like rich fancy people who just skipped that entirely and just went to DVDs. Oh, DVDs.
Wow.
But
I'm flattered though.
yeah. But I I remember I was sitting I was sitting on my bed. And this was, I want to say, this is like right when I was coming back from school. And this is like during the summer and stuff. And I I was laying there. We had just like changed stuff around the house. So my room like looked a little different. We had gotten rid of the carpet and all that, whatever. So there was like hard floors on in my room now. So, I'm in there, I'm in my bed, and suddenly I like hear this tapping noise. And I look up. Now the lights are off. I'm trying to go to sleep. I look up, I don't see anything. So I'm like, okay, it's probably coming from outside. You know, or maybe some bird is like just pecking on the side of the house or something like that. But all the birds are supposed to be asleep typically. So I wasn't too sure about that explanation. Anyway, I was like, okay, whatever. I tried to go back to sleep. I turn my head, close my eyes, I go to sleep. Then I look up. I see like the light is on from outside my door. I look over and I turn and I see my door is open. Right? And my mom is standing there. Okay. She didn't say anything. She just walks in. Okay. She goes to the side of my bed. And then I blink. And I open my eyes. And it's almost as if when you pressed rewind on a tape recorder or a VCR, it's like she rewinded right out of the room and the door closed right behind it. All of this was silent. I didn't hear a single noise. I blink again and the room was back to normal. So I'm over here thinking, wait a minute. Okay, so am I tripping? Did she come in? Did she want something? Maybe I'm too sleepy. I go and I open the door in my room and all the lights are off and everyone else is asleep. So I was like, yo, I must be hallucinating. I went back in my bed and I went to sleep. I do not know how to explain that to this day.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming?
No.
Oh man.
And did you ask your mom about it the next day at all?
No.
Oh, you totally should have.
I didn't say anything to anybody.
That's crazy. See, because the closest thing personally that would have sounded like if you were dreaming, I would have said it was deja vu ray, which is similar to deja vu, except it's when you have a dream about something that's supposed to happen in the future, and then it does happen in the future, because some people have those type of dreams.
I have that all the time. I've had that before.
Really?
That was not this though, but yes,
okay,
I had that all the time.
Understandable.
This was complete. I was fully awake. Okay. I was wide awake.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
weird.
kid you not. Yeah,
that's weird.
It's almost as if it didn't happen, but it did. Like I till this day, I'm not even too sure exactly what happened.
I got honestly. You. Wait, I have an explanation. Parallel universe you collided in that moment, and you just got confused.
Parallel universe me.
Yeah, because there's infinite possibilities of what you can do and different versions of you. So who's to say that the universe didn't just briefly collide? You just got mixed up. So you thought it was a dream, but it really wasn't. Maybe it really did happen, just to another version of you. It was just a little mixed up in the timelines. That's all.
Multiverse theory is just it's so fascinating to me. I just feel like I like what they're doing now in pop culture and stuff, exploring all that. I feel like it's a popular thing to make shows or movies about. I know the Twilight Zone is technically that's kind of what it is, right?
Never watched it.
You've never watched the Twilight Zone.
No.
It's actually so honestly, going back and looking at it, it's so good because the way that they even though you can tell, it's an old show, obviously, it was from the 50s or something like that, but the way that they managed to capture such a creepy feeling, and the stories that they told, they had such a way of it was outlandish, but it wasn't out of the realm of imagination. When you find that balance, it tends to linger on someone's mind, you know, that's
I
what makes
understand.
things serious. So that's really, I feel like, in my opinion, other people can explain the genius of that show better than I can, but in my opinion, that's the real genius behind it. But yeah, it kind of just goes into different, like, the Twilight Zone is basically like a parallel universe, or like or a different universe where like things are just things are backwards or something like that, but then they end up being, there's always like some sort of twists, and it ends up being what you don't expect it to be. It's really good, and it's, you know, it's Halloween, so hey, everyone should watch
Interesting.
that. I can't remember who's supposed to, Lauren, were you supposed to go in? Did you have
Can
anything
he?
else?
I mean, besides some ghost stories, personally, no.
Uh-oh. Ghost stories? Now I'm gonna just say this. I don't think I've seen a ghost before.
Really?
I don't think I've seen a ghost before. That I don't think, I don't know. I seriously, I know like a lot of people have like said they have, but I haven't.
See, granted, I know not a lot of people would like believe me, but I know from my own personal experience, me and my family can see spirits. So
Ooh,
it's a very taxing thing to deal with, but I know I've seen spirits like for most of my life. So
what has been the creepiest encounter with a spirit that you've had?
Yeah.
ooh, okay. I would have to say, because typically I'm not used to spirits having too much of like physical contact with things. Like they're very capable of like messing with your surroundings or you, but like I haven't. There's only been like few occasions. Like what I'm usually used to is like a spirit like knocking my food off the counter, or like locking a door when we didn't realize, or pushing a ball. But there was this one time in one of the houses me and my family lived in. My mother had this wonderful bathroom. Her bathroom was so big. She had a little jacuzzi tub in there. Like, it was a good bathroom. I loved it. So whenever she wasn't home, I would sneak into her bathroom and use it when I got off work. But there was a spirit that was like connected to her room and bathroom. And I don't think it liked me much, because whenever I would go in there, like, you could see things pop up in the mirror, which he had a really big mirror in there. So that's very creepy, especially with it flickering the lights, locking the door, closing doors, making sounds behind you. The whole bathroom just had such a vibe that just gave you nothing but negative energy. And then it messing with you on top of it, I have to say, by far was the creepiest experience that I've had personally.
Did you guys ever do the mirror stuff?
No.
No.
Mirrors are scary.
So you never did any of those mirror games?
No.
No.
No, literally no. Like, my siblings have tried to get me to, but like, why would you want Bloody Mary to pop up? Give me one good reason. You want me to stand in a dark room to get a spirit that is said to murder you to pop up?
Just to say hi. You know?
It's going to murder you.
Just to say hello.
I don't want to say hi to it.
My God.
You know what though? No, seriously. That was like a thing in elementary school, especially.
Oh no. People used to close them in the back, like close a group of kids in the bathroom, hold the door closed, and then scream the name just to mess
Children
with
are
kids.
sadistic. Children are sadistic, bro.
No,
Y'all gotta chill out. I seriously, like, I definitely it happened to me one time. The other times I escaped because I knew what to expect. So I knew when to avoid or how to avoid like all that stuff in the bathroom. But I
saw the guys doing it, and I caught on just based off of observing. So I managed to escape each one so far. But my family almost caught me one time. The only reason I evaded that one is because I burst into tears.
And pull out the big guns. You're like, guys,
Of course.
don't do this.
It's not funny
It's
anymore.
not funny. Guys. No,
Please let me out.
Shout out to Candyman, by the way. The movie came out like a
Still
month ago,
haven't
I wanna
watched
say.
it.
Yeah.
I watched it, and
How was it?
I did like it. I really liked it. It hurt my feelings more than anything, honestly, surprisingly enough. Like it was kind of creepy, don't get me wrong. And I think the horror was done really well. You know, not really many cheap jump scares, which, you know, it's like always a metric I have to count when I'm watching.
So there's
a horror
not too
movie.
many of them. So it is.
There's
safe for
maybe
me to
like
watch.
one. There's just
Okay.
like, you know, maybe one or two.
Not too
Probably just
bad.
one actual one. At least what I would consider jump scares, because jump scares are like, for me, it's like something pops up and then a loud noise, you know, comes along with it or something like that.
No, even the little ones scare me, truth be told.
So
Like,
something,
you know how at the beginning of the movie they have like they're edging you before they, you know, pop out the serial killer or whatever. At the very beginning when there's like nothing scary going on. And like maybe some girls in the bathroom and like like they play the slightly creepy music and then someone pops up, but it's like just her friend. Like even those, I consider those pop-ups too. I don't like any of that.
there's no like something pops up suddenly in the frame. There's nothing like that. Like there's no way for me to describe it to you unless you see it. It's not. I feel like, okay, just letting you know how I felt throughout the movie. I was like, okay, what is going on? What's happening? Then I was increasingly creeped out. Then, like towards the end of it, I was just like, dang, wow. I was like, wow. You know, it wasn't even so like I was just scared. It was just like, wow. And then yeah, so I don't know. Definitely see it if you haven't. I watched it. I wanted to prove how much of a tough guy I was, so I went ahead and watched it alone by myself in the dark, right before I went to sleep. I was like, I want to do this. I want to watch this movie on hard mode. You know what I'm saying? On expert settings.
I need to complete the challenge.
And it wasn't. I mean, another metric I measure horror movies by is how many nights after I see it do I go to sleep thinking about it. That one was only like that one night because I had just seen it literally. After that, I was like, okay, it's whatever. So yeah.
I know this is kind of on the same topic, but I remember my brother, happy birthday to him again. You remember that scary video with that, you know, the car driving up the hill, going around, and that little green monster pops out?
Yeah, that's a jump scare.
Yeah, that's right? It was not funny. Like I was like either 8 or 9. He told me, "Hey, Brandon, come here, sit here, watch this." Okay, big brother. La 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 la. All of a sudden, and then you know the music hits, and you know he's going to the car corner. Like, oh, it's just a car. Ooh, it came up, boy. I started running down the stairs.
You know, honestly, that's what you guys get for being the younger siblings, because this is the same joke I played on my younger siblings. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I actually watched it. I had the pleasure of watching it myself. I found it myself.
Unfortunately.
Like I literally I was, you know, in the YouTube rabbit hole, and then I came across this one video. I was like, okay, this car going down the hill. Oh, okay. The way that little goblin thing, whatever it is, zombie, whatever, well, the way it flung itself at me, I was
oh man,
I legit jump, and I don't jump at stuff like that, like unless it's like in person. Like if someone scares me, like while we're in person, okay, like I'll jump just because it's somebody. But if it's like something I'm watching, I'm not gonna jump really. But
No,
that thing got me like
at
bad.
that no,
Same.
because around that same time, it was really big on Facebook because that's when I was like really high into Facebook. And that wasn't the only one that got me, but it was the
I saw
people
another one.
playing.
Yeah, I don't
No,
remember.
it was the people playing those video games
Oh,
it wasn't the snake one, it was the maze.
the maze
And like
game.
I liked watching playthrough. So it
The
seems so
maze
interesting
game.
to watch
The
people
maze
play the
game.
maze game, and I would watch them be like, oh, they got it, they're on level 8, and that's when it gets you. I think it is level 8 that it gets you. And then
Yeah.
I don't know, that ghost girl pops up.
Yeah, from the exorcism.
Yeah. That's the one I won't forget.
Oh, I got one more scary story, but I know it's kind of odd. So this is between me and my older brother. So I just became blind. One day he called up my mom. Like
Just casually.
he just woke up like, "Mom, is Brandon okay?" Like he asked, "Why?" I saw Brandon doing the crab walk like the lady from Exorcism, and my mom was like, "What? Brandon's right here doing pretty okay." My brother was he wanted to know shit himself or something. Like, all right, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep, but like, I was sitting there. What is like something I would do, so?
So he saw you doing the crab walk?
Yeah, like walking towards him, like
where can you explain where everybody is?
So like
First.
we were in the apartment, like me, I was in the living room with my family. My brother decided to call, like let's say about 7, 8-ish, I think. Like mom picked it up, like, hello, what's wrong? Like, mom, Brandon okay? Like, what's going on? Yeah, he's right here. Now, this time, everyone at this time was very worried about me because of my health. When he told my mom, like, you what? Brandon's what? Doing the crab walk? Like, yeah, he was walking towards me. Like, what do you do? Like, he couldn't really tell me, but like, my mom looked at me. Your brother just had a bad dream about you. Like, what was it about? And like, she told me, like, that's kind of scary.
So it was a dream.
Yeah, it was a dream.
Okay. But he thought it actually happened, and he came and like he was like, "Oh, where?"
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I used to have like just nightmares all the time when I was younger. Like it got to a point really where I was kind of afraid to go to sleep because I was like, I know I'm gonna have a nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I used up a lot of my nightmare energy like when I was younger though, because nowadays I don't really, if I do have a bad dream, it's not really like a nightmare, like something like, spooky or whatever is happening. It's more so like I'm in like a difficult like situation, like in like the
That's
Hunger
so...
Games. Like the Hunger Games, right? It's
Okay.
more so if I have a bad dream, it's something like that, less so like something like
See,
creepy or
as
something.
a child, I didn't have nightmares at all. Like I could legitimately say I did not have nightmares until I hit high school. So like I envy my child self because when it came to sleep, she had it so easy. But now that I'm an adult, I've had nightmares all week this week. So it is not a fun time. But I will say, as a child, dreams didn't scare me because my family did more often. They were notorious pranksters for scares, specifically jump scares. And I gotta say, it was really entertaining to be in on some of those because my little brother Malachi, he was the biggest prankster in the house, always trying to scare one of us. And it got to the point where he would get like each person in the house individually so that we were all like pent up aggressed because like, bro, you're constantly scaring us. We're tired of you. So one of us would come up with a prank. I think the last one we did was a clown prank where I actually went to my mom and was like, hey, buy a clown mask. I'm going to get one of the other kids to wear it and give them a whole clown costume. One of us get to the breaker, flicker the lights in the house and then turn them all off so that he can't turn anything on. All of us be outside, so he's by himself and can't find anyone. So then when he gets outside the front door, the clown will pop up. And I got the whole family in on it. He hated
Did you
all
guys
of us.
record that?
No, sadly we did not.
Yeah, that's
some
some serious
really good
work.
ones. Yeah, we choreo, like we get together and like plan these things out. When one kid in the house like pisses us off, it's brutal. And once we get my mom in on it, it's over. That's when things go down.
Yeah. We definitely do we definitely are prone to jump scaring each other at my house. I feel like it's an art, honestly, because at this point we've jump scared each other so many times, it's kind of hard to do it. So you have to be creative sometimes. Like you have to sense when like people's guards are down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of
I
those like, I know we've waited a couple months before I've scared you, so today's the day that I'll stand outside of the bathroom and wait.
Yeah.
I used to torture my little brother because y'all know how I like scary stuff. So you know, like, I was
Torture.
bigger.
Whoa.
Like I was bigger than him. You know, like he knew I like scary movies. So, like I would actually literally drag him into the dark. Like you come to hell with me, boy.
Yeah, my brother used to do that to me.
My
He used
siblings
to
have done that to each other.
He used to grab me. my older brother, he used to grab me like it like turn because I used to be afraid of the dark, and so he would like grab me by the legs and like drag me into like a dark room and then start making creepy voices at me, and I would just like be screaming and struggling to get out. Oh man. But then like I eventually, you know, I got older, and then just like one day he tried it on me and it didn't work, and he was like, "Wow,
dang,
all
that's
right."
actually sad.
That's actually
have you
not for
him, it
me.
was.
What? Not for me. I'm not terrified anymore. It's like, oh,
But have you guys ever watched World War Z?
no.
The zombie movie.
Yeah, I know what it is. I've been meaning to
Okay.
watch it, but I haven't.
Oh, okay. That means I can't tell you. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, no
Even
spoilers
though
in this
it's like
podcast,
years
guys.
old.
No spoilers.
But I would like to see it. I would like to see it though. Tanish, hey,
Been a
Is he
while.
back?
it's been a while.
Oh my God, where has he been?
The man is back. How you doing, my friend?
He just like a serial killer in the movie. He pops out there.
Yeah, you kind of jump scared us for a second.
He asked, by the way, do you ever have dreams that feel like a prediction of the future? I actually spoke about that earlier. If you were here, sir, they're called deja vu ray if you ever want to Google it. A lot of people do. I am one of them. Adaze said he is one of them.
Yeah, I have those all, like literally every, it's, and you know what's funny? It didn't used to always be like that, but now it's gotten to the point where every other dream I have is like, it feels like I'm predicting something, but it's just.
But my mom has that
write
every
them
day.
down so that you can like be aware. See, because what I've done, I've caught on to it when I was a child, and what I've started to do, like I can't remember them when I wake up, so I can't write them down.
No, but I can't either.
The moment that I'm in the situation, I immediately can register before I even speak that it was a dream, and it's gotten so bad that I'll have two predictions for like a singular future offense because I've been like so adamant to see if I can change them that I'll just have a dream to replace. Like, and I'll know that I had two separate dreams because I'll sit there, like, for example, there was this conversation I was having with a coworker at work. And as soon as the conversation was happening, my brain goes, we dreamt this. This is real. Say this instead. And then I'll say this thing and then I'll be like, dang it. And then I'll know both scenarios of what I wanted to say, of what would happen, because I've already had a dream of both of them. So apparently you can't avoid the future, guys. You got to just keep going through it.
No, it for me, it's like something will happen. And then I'll be like, hold on, this has definitely happened before. And then I'll think, and I'm like, huh. And I'll think some more, and I'm like, wait, I've definitely had like a dream related. And it's never exact.
No,
it's always like I always have to interpret it correctly.
Nope.
to like really get what's actually going on, because it's never like the exact thing.
For me, it's always been like a conversation. I've never gotten like a situation. It's always like a conversation that I'm having with someone, but it's always word for word. So as
Mine
soon
is
as
the
the
opposite.
conversation happens, I already know what's happening from this point, like until the end of the conversation. I know every word that will be said. So it doesn't matter.
Mine is definitely like situations. Like I'll be in a situation and I'm like, okay, I definitely have like dreamt I was gonna be in this exact situation. And it's just like, my thing is though, yeah, when I wake up, I definitely don't remember instantly, like, or what happened. Or if I do, by the time I remember to write it down, like by the time I'm awake enough to be like, oh, I should write my dream down, I've forgotten like 90% of it.
See, for me, I typically remember my dreams, but only when I have deja vu ray dreams. When I wake up, I won't even think I've dreamt until the situation happens. And it never happens the same day. Like I'll have
No,
the
no,
dream
no,
and then
no.
it happens like months down the line.
Months from now.
I
Yeah.
hate that.
Months. It's literally, yeah, all the time. That's why it's kind of like weird and trippy when like it does happen, because like I feel like I've been here before, but it's been so long that your brain is just like, I don't know, your brain is kind of like playing tricks on you somewhat, but part of it is like I've been here before, so it's so weird. Tanish says, he said, I watched your podcast VOD last week on having a voice in your head while reading. For me, this happens to me, but also I will have different music playing in my head that's not actually playing. Okay. I was so terrified. I did not want to mention this last week. Okay. But yeah, that definitely happened. That the music thing. Now I attributed that to me just being a music person, because I'm like always thinking of melodies and like, whatever and stuff like that. But that's the other thing. I'm always like just thinking, or it and subconsciously, like, that happens to me a lot. So I'm glad we're not alone there, brother. Okay, we all sound loony when we talk about how our brains work. It just is what it is. Are you guys ready for one last story?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So this story is not mine originally. This was brought to my attention by a certain someone. And so I'd like to tell it to you guys. Apparently, it's based on a true story. And for that reason, I'm going to replace, you can look this up. This is a what is it called, Lauren? What's the term?
Creepypasta?
It's a creepypasta.
Yeah.
I will type the name in the comments, but the name will not be said on this podcast.
Yes. Right, let me just leave the
It is said if you speak the name, it will give it power and attract it to you.
So I'm going to replace the name of it. So, but you'll be able to replace it with context, guys. So, here we go. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange, human-like creature sparked local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural New York State and once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions ranged from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remained powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book. A Suicide Note, 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awake and felt his presence, and once I awoke, I saw his form. And once again I awoke and I heard his voice and looked in his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lenny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name. A journal entry, 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand. I will not sleep. His voice does. A Mariner's Log, 1691. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the thing. From a Witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized to him and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly, his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. Then he grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large, hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked in fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot away from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband, the creature then placed its hand on its knee and ran into the hallway, leading into the kids' room. I screamed and I ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got into the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching away, hunched over about 20 feet. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran downstairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, He is the thing. My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughter into the hospital. They did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took out a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now refer to as the Thing. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Thing. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. The ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying that they were only told to leave by the Thing. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Thing had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the 2nd week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times normal speed. This took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something. Something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Thing. I can't listen to it long enough to begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and now I believe it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Thing since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and I fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me.